I count it an honor and a privilege, as Minister Cooper said, to stand before God's people. I know we don't take it lightly when we stand before God's people. But God has trusted us with his word. Try not to be before you long. I'm just excited about the word tonight. And I'm going to move on. Just go with me to Marcus. Just go with me. We're going to 1 John 3 and 9. Bless your name, God. Bless your name. Bless your name, God. He is here. He is definitely here. If you have 1 John 3 and 9, say amen. And it reads as this: whosoever is born of God doeth not commit sin, for his seed remaineth in him, and he cannot sin because he is born of God. As I was researching the word, God gave me a subject: spiritual birthing pains. He had me to look at on the natural side as well as the spiritual side. On the natural side, we know we have to have a mother and a father in order to be conceived. Whether you married, single, and your children born out of wedlock, which they call illegitimate, that's on the natural side. But on the spiritual side, we be born on the spiritual side. But the thing on the spiritual side, we have the same father.
Yes, God.
And we are legitimate.
Oh, yes, God.
We are inherent to the kings of kings. That means we're royalty.
Amen.
Now, some of us not royalty on the natural side, but we're royalty on the spiritual side.
All right.
And when you look at it, it got to be a conception for birth, whether it's on the natural or the spiritual side. So we're going to look on the spiritual side tonight. Some of us are spiritual pregnant. And there's a seed on the inside of us. But we know there's a seed on the inside of us because we be in a place where we're uncomfortable. And we have no idea what's going on. God said what the seed is because there was a word that was given to us that was planted on the inside of us that has to grow. But the thing is, when you pregnant with a baby, there's certain nourishment that you have to eat.
Yeah.
So God said, if a minister or someone come and speak a word to you, that means they're dropping a seed in the womb. And in the womb, you know the seed has to grow. The word Isaiah 55:11 tells us, the word that's come from the mouth will not return void.
Yeah.
So, we all have something on the inside. But some of us hadn't come full term yet. In order for that womb to grow, we have to read.
Yeah.
We have to fast. We have to pray. We have to listen and seek God.
Amen.
Some of us in a season of spiritual growth. That means the baby has grown. And God gave me a couple things to talk to you about. He took me back to Moses when the children was in Egypt. God said Egypt was the womb. God sent Moses, which he was pregnant with what God has given him.
Yeah.
But the people of Israel was crying for deliverance. God said during that time, somebody was travailing for them. So when someone is travailing for you, that means they're crying out on your behalf for your deliverance. So God had to use Moses in order to deliver them. So that means the baby has came full term. So don't you know you're pregnant with somebody else's deliverance?
Yes. God.
You carrying somebody else's seed that need it. I'm carrying a seed within me that somebody else needs.
All right.
Minister Cooper Cannon, Deacon Post, that each and one of you are carrying a seed that somebody needs. But then he broke it down to me. You got to have a midwife. When you have a natural birth, some people have a midwife. God said some of us have to have a midwife. A midwife is helping us birthing what we have in us. In other words, we're going to need somebody else's help.
All right.
Because some of the pains we're going through, we're not going to make it by ourselves.
All right.
So we're going to need assistance to help us to birth these pains. It might not be me that help you birth the pain, but it can be a simple child that say a word to you can birth that pain that you're going through.
All right.
Then God said, the reason why some of us is not going full term is because some of us is trying to have an abortion. He said, you're trying to get rid of something that I deposit in you.
Oh.
He said, you can't get rid of something that I deposit in you.
Yes, God.
So he said, stop trying to abort the baby and let the baby live. Because, you know, sometimes we try to abort the baby, it becomes worse. Because God can make you sleepless night, crying wet with tears on your pillow. Sometimes you think you're going crazy, but that's God trying to get your attention because you're trying to abort what he has already deposited in your womb.
Yes, God.
Then he told me, some of us are having stillborn pregnancy. That we don't want the pregnancy to come forth. That means the baby's inside of us, but we don't want it to live.
Oh.
So how many of you are carrying a stillborn pregnancy? We got something that's on the inside that needs to be alive. A stillborn baby, that means it don't come full term. That means there's no life. That means you don't have any spirit within you if there's no life. So how can you live without the Spirit of God? Because you have no life. You're only existing. You have no meaning. But you got to learn that birth can be your vision. It can be your destiny. It can be your ministry. Birth can mean so many things. But what are you birthing? Are you trying to carry it to full terms? Are you trying to have the abortion? Or are you having a stillborn? Then, some of us are miscarried. Some of us have so many growth in us, so many gifts that's on the inside of us, that we're miscarrying. You want to do what you want to do. But you got to remember, everybody can't assist you in your birth. Because your birth can come ineffective from somebody else. That means the baby that you're carrying, and in that bloodstream you become contaminated. That means you are infecting somebody else. Not only the growth on the inside of you, but you're infecting somebody else.
Yes, God.
That causing them to stop their growth.
Yes, God.
So I challenge you, are you bringing your baby to full term? Are you aborting the baby? Or your baby stillborn? But some of us, I got a question. Are you having a girl? Or are you having a boy?
Well.
Or you carrying twins? Because there's some things on the inside of us that has to be birthed. Some of us carry twins and have no idea who you are infecting that not bringing the babies to life. Minister Cooper, the teacher, the evangelist, she can have twins. But I can only have one. That means I can only have the evangelism, but I don't have to have the gift of prophecy. Pastor Kenneth can have the gift of pastoring, evangelism, and prophecy. She might be carrying triplets. So why are you carrying? Some of us are carrying more than one. But you're trying to abort one and carry one full term. That can't be. Your spiritual birth. It takes you out of your comfort zone. It takes you to a place where you don't don't want to go. But it's a place that you have to go. Because spiritual birth brings you into character whom God wants you to become. Not who you want to be. During the natural birthing, the doctor always told us we had to have the 5 groups. The fruits, the vegetables, the grains, the meat, and the dairy. God said we also have to have 5 groups in the spiritual. That's praying. That's fasting. That's seeking. That's reading. And we got to listen.
Yes, God.
Because once you're spiritual pregnant, you got to listen what God is trying to tell you.
Yes, God.
Because some of us, we trying to carry the baby to full term, but the eyes is not full developed. We trying to carry the baby full term, but the feet's not full developed. So we have to have the right nutrients in order for the baby to come full term.
Yes, God.
So what are you pushing? What are you pushing? Are you pushing the spiritual baby? Or are you just wasting your time? God told me with a spiritual birth, head has to come first. So that means your mind has to change. Because you can't function if your mind don't change with a spiritual birth.
All right.
Because you'll be ineffective. I challenge you tonight. What is your spiritual birthing process? Are you trying to carry what's on the inside of you full term? Are you trying to get rid of something that you know you need? But a lot of us trying to abort what we have in us because we're so afraid of what somebody's going to say.
All right.
What they going to say about us, those are holy rollers over there. They stay in church all the time. They are speaking in tongues, people. They are laying out on the floor, people. Yeah, that's us.
Yes, God. Yes, God.
That will be LHM.
Yes, God.
But we're going through a birthing process.
Yeah.
And through the birthing process, there's some things going to have to be eliminated. Do it take all of that? Yes, it do. Because if it don't take all of that, some of us will be left behind. So what are you pushing? Is the head coming first? Or is your baby breached? If your baby is breached, that means you're not listening. If your baby is breached, that means the head is not first. That means you can't see first. That means you're going to walk in somewhere that you don't have no business walking. So your head got to come first. So are you spiritual birthing what God has deposited into you? Remember, the natural mothers. When you became pregnant, some of us got excited. Some of us told the news. Some of us didn't get excited. Some of us didn't tell the news. Some of us tried to hide it, but 9 months later, duh, you cannot hide it, you got a baby. But are you spreading your spiritual process of birthing? We get so excited about the things happening in the natural. Are you getting excited about the thing in the spiritual? Who are you depositing in? Who are you pushing the baby into?
All right.
Natural. Some of us had a natural birth. Some of us had a C-section. Some people's spiritual birth is not going to be as bad as other spiritual births. Mine might be worse than Pastor Cannon and Minister Cooper. But we all have to go through a birthing process.
All right.
I might have to stay on my knees a little longer than Minister Cooper and Pastor Cannon. But I still have to go through a birthing process.
Amen.
So are you pushing the baby full term? Do your baby weigh 2 pounds? Which is a preemie. So that means you only got just a smidgen of the word. You not living it, but you heard it. You heard it, but you're not applying it. So are you carrying around a preemie? But you got to remember too, sometimes premature babies survive.
They do.
But you got to feed the baby the proper nutrients in order for that baby to survive.
All right.
So you got to say to yourself, am I going to carry it full term? Am I going to abort the baby? Am I carrying a stillborn? Or have I had a miscarriage? The same thing that applies to your natural life applies to your spiritual life. But it's more effective in your spiritual life than in your natural life. Because if you line up in the spirit, you can work the natural.
Yeah.
Because He's going to lay the way out for you in order to give birth. Some of us have a seed on the inside that's already grown. The baby is kicking. The baby is moving. The baby saying, allow me to come forth and let me show my head. So I ask you tonight, are you in the spiritual process of birthing a baby? When I read the word and I researched about spiritual birthing pain, God said we have to get ourselves in a position in order to push. So what position are you in? Are you ready to push? Because once you push, the baby is coming. Your life is going to change. It will be no more I, but it will be Him that controls your life. Because once you got a baby, when a baby comes into your life will never be the same. No. You got somebody else depending on you. So in the spiritual, somebody else is depending on you to carry that baby full term. So I challenge you to push. Get into position to push. And allow the baby to come forth. We have so many that are carrying a spiritual baby. It is ready to be birthed. But we are so ashamed. But God said, what if you're ashamed to be here on earth? I'll be ashamed in heaven. So allow God to use you to push what you have on the inside. No matter what anybody say about you, you push. Because when you push, a lot of waste is going to be eliminated.
Yes, God.
The thing that you used to do is going to be eliminated. The thing that you used to say is going to be eliminated. So you need to push. Because some of us hold on to some old stuff that's causing our baby not to be birthed. So I know you don't want to come out with a deformed baby. When you have a deformed baby, that means there want to be problems.
Yeah.
I want my baby to come full term. I want to be the Moses that God impregnated, that I deliver His people. Spiritual birthing process. So how many of you are in that stage now that you feel like that you're uncomfortable? But you got to remember, when you be contaminated, you allow the devil to speak to you to tell you don't do it. Then fear, doubt, and disbelief will be a part of your baby. And then allow your baby to not come full term. So I ask you, allow your baby to come full term. Because somebody's depending on you to push. Somebody's depending on you. The person that's sitting beside you might be depending on you for your baby to come. Remember, you got a midwife to help you. You have ministers. You have pastor, a spiritual leader that help you along the way. Everybody can assist you because everybody don't want you to have the baby.
Amen.
Everybody don't want you to have the baby because they see what's on the inside of you. Like I said, it's not a shouting word. It's not a throw down word. But it's a spiritual birth process.
Yes, God.
We got to move to another level.
Amen.
The season is changing. You only can carry a natural baby for 9 months. Our season is changing. There are some spiritual babies that needs to be birthed before the season completely changes. When the season change, your anointing change. When your anointing change, you change. Your baby is about to come. Some of you on the verge of deliverance, and all I can tell you is to push. Because someone looking for a full-term baby, if you can't carry it, God will give somebody else to carry the baby full term.
Yes, God. Yes, God.
Don't think you all that God have to use you. God can use a child to bring a baby full term. You don't have to be an adult to carry the baby full term. It's a spiritual process, remember. Yes, you have young kids having babies. But you still have young kids having a natural spiritual birth as well as a natural birth.
Yes, God.
You got minister, change your age. Just walk into their spiritual birth. And I challenge you on this week, position yourself and push.
Amen.
Because there are some things going to be uncomfortable, but you got to push. Because someone is depending on your spiritual birthing process.
Amen.
Amen.